Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be working with double sticks. And let me just run by some exercises for you guys, and we'll get started right away. So the first one is we're just going to go like this, 1 and 2. I'm making an X with both sticks, as you can see. So the idea is kind of like if this were double swords. I'm slashing and slashing, slash and slash. Slash with double. You kind of put both your hands together if you want, starting off like so, okay, and then just going down like this, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I'm just making a downwards X pattern. But when you get better, you're not going to keep your hands like this. You're going to actually keep them apart, and you'll see that one weapon is going to kind of go first, okay? So in this case, if I'm going downwards to the right hand is closer, so that's going to kind of go first. And then now going to the left hand kind of has a lead here, as you can see. It's just more natural this way. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is right now is standing square. So to make it a little bit more realistic, I'm going to go ahead and take a fighting stance. So right hand is going to be to the front. If you're left-handed, you could have your left side to the front. Okay, so from this position, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. The same thing applies if I'm going like this. Going to the left hand is closer, so the left hand is going to be slightly ahead of the right hand. Notice the left hand's already here. Okay, and when I'm going this way, the right hand has the advantage, so it kind of goes first, and then the left hand follows. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. Just think of double sword slashing. All right. Now, the way that I'm doing it right now is I'm using arm motion like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. We also want to be able to incorporate wrist motion, especially if the weapon becomes more compact. We could utilize this kind of wrist motion for snapping type movements. Okay, it helps us generate some more extra power when the weapon is smaller, because it's not going to have the weight or the length of a bigger weapon like this. So with a bigger weapon like this, you cannot, not this stick, but if this was, let's say, a real sword, I'm not going to be able to do this kind of stuff. All right, unless I'm a really big, strong dude, it's probably not going to happen. So in that case, I need to lock my wrist, and that's why we're doing this kind of slashes with the locked wrist. 1, 2. So now let's do the exact same thing, but now we're going to make it more wrist oriented. So same idea, going downward slashes, but now I'm using my wrist. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here, let me show you from the side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As you can see, the wrist is involved, and as you can see also that I'm trying to keep my fists closed as possible so I don't compromise my grip. I don't want to drop my weapons. So this is the idea. Okay. Now the next thing is we're going to go back to the square stance. We're just going to go 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So closed, open, close and open. Notice right now the right hand is going to go on top, and the left hand is on the bottom, and then I open, and then next the left hand's on top, and the right hand's on the bottom. Okay, you could keep it the same where the right hand's always on top, but then just know that you're doing that, and you should be able to switch to where the left hand's on top. Okay, and then you should be able to also go alternate right here. Right hand on top, left hand on top. Right hand on top, left hand on top. So once again, let's make this a little bit more realistic. So now we're going to take a fighting stance rather than square. And then from here, the idea here is, yes, you are going to be hitting with the stick. So both right hand and left hand are going to hit. It's like a sandwich type shot, right? Almost like a clap type motion. So you're going to hit this way, okay? And then on the way out, when you open, that should also be a strike too. So I'm hitting bam bam, right hand, left hand, and then right hand, left hand as well, okay? So I'm getting essentially 4 shots here. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, what I like to explain to you guys real quick is the clapping motion is I think it's an actual technique that is taught in some schools of martial arts where someone's like choking you or something, you could clap right on their ear, right? To mess with your eardrums, okay? But the motion that we're doing here is not this, okay? It's actually this. You see, when we do, we pass through, the arms pass through, you see? So I'm at an angle. I'm not here like one of those, what is it, those chimpanzee toys that just goes like this. So this is not the motion I'm going for. I'm going for this. I'm going for this motion, okay? So we're going to do the same thing with the sticks. So instead of just going boom equally like this, okay, we're going to go boom. And as you can see, it goes through and here. So one arm is more in the front and the other arm is shorter. And then boom right here, and notice right here. Once again, one arm is more on the top, the other is more on the bottom. So it's not perfectly level here and close and perfectly level open. It's boom right here. See? So one arm's to the front and the other is to the back. So coming here, 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2. And same idea with this, where we are locking our wrist and using more of the arm, we could also involve more of the wrist. So when we involve more of the wrists, this is what happens, right? So it becomes more of this kind of motion right here, where I'm still crossing and uncrossing, crossing, uncrossing, crossing, uncross. So it's a nice circular motion that I'm making here. 1, 2, 1, 2, like so. I don't know if you guys can see. I apologize for my camera. Hopefully soon, within a couple of months, I'll be able to upgrade. But right now, this is all I got, and it is a terrible camera. It's giving me a big headache, and it's made filming a lot more difficult. But we'll see what we can do, hopefully in the near future. So anyway, right here, cross, uncross, cross, uncross, cross, uncross. So it's like I'm doing jump rope, and when you go like this, where you bring your arms over, it's the same idea, except I'm doing it in a fighting stance. So I'm like this rather than square. Rather than doing it like this, I'm doing it from here, and this is the idea, boom. And if I stop it right here, you could see one arm is way back and the other is way more to the front. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.